All right. Welcome back. Double Take Sports Talk. I'm Darren, and that's Darrell.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
All
So
right. So let's get to it, Darrell. What you got?
yeah. Okay. So I wanted to do this. There's some thoughts that need to be shared, and I want to hear from Darren also. Yeah, you. I want to hear from you. Um, first things first. Um, CP3, Chris Paul had got traded to the Warriors. So of course that's the second trade within a whole day, with him getting traded from the Suns to the Warriors, and I mean the Wizards, now the Wizards to the Warriors. So I want to know from you, with this addition of CP3, how do you think the Warriors can contain Chris Paul, especially with him having injury history? How do you think that Chris Paul can fit in this whole duo with Klay Thompson and Stephen Curry?
Back when back in the '90s when we always used to talk about old school players and
Yes.
always talk about the different things that they can do and how they are able to, play better basketball than
Yeah.
these new players.
Yep.
I think about Chris Paul to me as an old school player. And I ain't talking
Absolutely.
about an old school player from, the 2000s and all of that. I'm talking about those. He fits the personality and the profile of really a old school NBA
We talking
player
about the
from the
90s, the
90s and the
80s.
80s and the
Yeah, that
70s and so
dude.
on and so
Yes.
forth. So you have that mentality on top of uh Stephen Curry being a more modern player with Klay Thompson and
Right.
who knows if Draymond Green gonna be around.
From what I understand, of course, he got released. And it's funny, they still got him as a potential starting player for the Warriors. And he declined his, $37.5 million contract to be a unrestricted free agent.
Okay, so I'm
Anyway,
just gonna say that right now it looked like I don't know what his future's gonna look like. I
I
have
mean,
no idea.
now you also got to mention that, of course, you seeing Jordan Poole, he's actually
He's
going to
right,
Washington.
right. That
So
was part of that trade deal,
that was
right?
part of that trade. Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. So I think they're gonna miss Jordan Poole
You
and
think so?
his ability to back up Stephen Curry. I really do. That's just me. I believe they're gonna miss him to be able to back him up. Um, I think Chris Paul is going to be an interesting addition to this team because Golden State play faster.
True.
They play faster. Chris Paul don't play that fast. He's more of a pick and roll, but that would be his benefit to be able to run not only just pick and rolls, but high pick and rolls. He may have to learn it, but he can actually effectively run
Mm-hmm.
the whole pick and roll, high pick and roll far more better
Mm-hmm.
than what he was able to do with the Clippers and the Suns and
The
he played with
Rockets
the Rockets. Thank you.
and the
He
Thunder.
and Thunder. He was able to do. He'll probably be able to do that more better, and that's just my uh, personal opinion, and it is an
Mm-hmm.
opinion.
Right. Right. See, I can agree with you to, the extent of your opinion on the thought of how Chris Paul could fit in.
Mm-hmm.
And I personally think, in my personal opinion, that even though that Chris Paul is kind of like not the up tempo player, like you said, like, he don't, really start the fast breaks.
Right,
He's kind of like a more mid up tempo. He really sets high pick and rolls
right,
and pick and rolls, pick and pop, whatever.
yeah,
That he actually could be um the X factor when it comes to that.
true,
Um, it'll be something for him to actually to adjust, because they are going to have to adjust now since they
Right.
have, him. And so now they're going to have to, he's either going to have to either adjust himself,
Mm-hmm.
or, if the Warriors are willing to um actually adjust, to his liking, then maybe that could, work out in some way.
Well, you have to be mindful though that he
Mm-hmm.
probably won't be starting. He
He
is getting.
probably will. I think he will.
I don't think he will. He's starting to, for one thing,
He's
this is
deteriorating. Yeah, I could get that. Yeah.
well, I'm not gonna say deteriorating, but he is getting
Well, let me say deteriorating with age. He's
yeah,
not
it would be really
deteriorating.
age.
Yeah.
And he's also uh this is really actually Stephen Curry's team far more than
Oh,
his.
of course.
So he's
Yeah.
just gonna be an insertion to the team. I don't think he's gonna start. He's just going to be an insertion, especially with this most recent injury that he had acquired. So I don't think he's going to start, and I don't think he's going to play full time. And I think this is his latter time uh, playing like part time, so to
Probably
speak.
like getting like that veteran contract or something like
Yeah,
that.
because
Yeah.
it's starting to get down to
Because David West did the same thing.
yeah, because he knows it's starting to come down to the end. He know it is, and that's why he probably that's probably one of the reasons why he ended up going to Golden State, because he knows that his time is starting to come down.
Yeah. I'm kind of surprised about it, because I thought the Wizards was actually going to keep him and try to use him and then insert him into the starting role. But the Clippers was actually considering that, trying to get CP3 back.
Mm-hmm.
But I also learned at the same time that the Clippers are thinking about disengaging the Paul George Kawhi Leonard era and try to trade Paul George.
Well, I'm not surprised. I mean, they didn't
I'm
win
not
the
either.
championships.
And on top of that, they're injury riddled,
Right,
just
that's
like Chris
true.
Paul. They're injury riddled.
Yeah,
They only played an X amount of games together. I don't even think it was more than 30.
yeah. I don't think they played a full season without injuries.
Yeah,
How many
somebody's
years they
always
was
getting
with
hurt.
him?
Probably 3 or 4.
I'll say 5. When the 2018 when he got traded or released and signed with
Yeah,
the Clippers.
after the Raptors won the championship. Yeah, you're right.
Okay, so it was
You're
no,
right.
you're right. It's about 4 years.
Yeah, and that kind of like, well, it was about time that should have been in, that should have been and happened. The Lakers should have been disengaged this, because you're wasting talent, to say the least. Not saying that they're that they weren't any good, which they are good players, but you're just wasting talent because they're getting hurt and you're not taking care of them. So why not just, they're not bringing anything. They're not bringing any championships to the table. So get rid of them. That's just how I feel about it.
Yeah,
And just get rid of them.
yeah. For the way it looks as well, it looked like that the Wizards also got a projected 2030 first round pick
Yeah.
and a 2027 second round pick from Golden State as part of that deal
Yeah.
as well. So I would expect for excuse me, the Wizards to play it try to pick some good players out of the draft to kind of build around whoever's already on the team to kind of improve the team in itself.
No doubt. I'm glad you brought up those details. Thank you for that, because I sure in hell didn't feel like doing it.
Well, I'll finish it off.
Good. Good.
So also what happened was Bradley Beal agreed to waive his no trade clause to be sent to the Suns. And that deal was officially completed on Thursday, with the Wizards receiving Paul and Landry Shamet first round pick swaps for 2024, 2026, 2028, and 2030. Second round picks for 2024 through 2028 plus 2030, and cash from the Suns in that deal.
Oh, wow.
Phoenix also received Jordan Goodwin and Isaiah Ty from the Wizards. And then in a separate deal, Paul was sent to Golden State in exchange for Poole plus the draft compensation from the Warriors. So the two sides agreed to wait to officially complete the Beal trade, so the Wizards will have time to relocate Paul to the third team in the deal to recoup additional assets as part of that deal. So that's where we're at right now.
Oh yeah, and also that Kristaps Porzingis also got traded. He went
Oh,
to
I did
Boston,
to
and Marcus
Boston. Yeah,
Smart
yeah.
and Marcus Smart went to Memphis.
I think that was good.
I
I
think it was
think
too.
that would help Boston, like how Aaron Gordon helped Denver.
Yeah, I agree.
I do.
Now he's injury riddled too. Now if he can
True.
stay healthy this season, yes, they can make an impact.
Absolutely.
They could definitely make an
They will be the
impact.
team in the East.
I agree.
And Denver will
Yes.
still be the team in the West.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Right now you can't. If Denver keeps this and use the draft like how any other championship team would,
mm-hmm.
even if they just traded their draft pick, it really
Yeah.
wouldn't matter at that point. They
Right.
got their, they got their core, so that's even good enough. So, and
Right.
before we get out of here, I also want to note that the Cubs and Cardinals series in London do not start till Saturday, so they have today and tomorrow off.
Oh, so they were actually pretty decent going into not
Yes.
having to play right off the bat.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
So that series don't start until Saturday, and it's a 2-game series.
Okay.
Saturday and Sunday.
Interesting.
Yep, in London.
Interesting.
And then the Cubs and the Cardinals should have the day off the next day, and then
they're right back at it.
On to back at it.
Yeah. So, one other thing I want to mention as well, just really, really quick.
Yeah.
I've just seen this, and I don't know how I missed this, but Deion Sanders won't have his foot amputated, but he will need surgery.
Yeah, so. I seen that. They yeah, big prayers out to him anyway.
No doubt.
Because this situation still could get worse anyway. It still could get worse. But the good end of this is that he just needs like emergency surgery. So
right.
On top of that.
That was look like blood clots in his toe, I believe.
Yes. Well, he already had 2 toes amputated. So was it the big toe?
Oh, I don't know.
What did
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, he's had 2 toes amputated already.
Well, that again, we talk about health disparities amongst Black people and racism and things like that. So that's really important to, show that, this is real, and we, have to keep advocating for more Black health professionals and all of that to be able to help Black people with their health issues.
Mentioned it, and you've been mentioning on your podcast. It's and that stuff is very important with jobs and all that stuff too among Black people, Black athletes and stuff like that too.
Yes.
So you have brought it. That's major, important.
No doubt.
I agree. But yeah, that's it for me. We can wrap this bad boy up.
Yeah.
So of course we appreciate everyone watching this video. Of course, don't forget, subscribe to our channel and like our videos, share it, do whatever. Hopefully this will help everything in us and growing our channel. So we appreciate everyone watching. This was another one of Double Take Sports Talk podcast. I am Darrell, and then that's Darren.
That's me.
So catch up with us Tuesday for another podcast. Until then, ciao.